You're sitting in a perfectly heated house in the middle of winter, but you still feel a mysterious icy draft on your ankles. Or maybe you walk into your bathroom and spot a tiny spider making its way across the floor. The culprit usually isn't an open window. It's the gap where your drywall meets your subfloor. In most houses, there is a continuous hidden crevice running along the entire perimeter of every room. Standard builders handle this by simply nailing a decorative piece of wood, your baseboard, right over the gap. They cut off a hole so you can't see it, but they don't actually seal it. Even if your home is built with heavy insulation and rigorous airtightness, leaving the junction where the wall meets the floor unsealed creates a notorious weak spot where air and pests migrate. Interior trim needs to act as your home's secondary air seal. Relying on baseboards and window frames merely for decoration gives cold air and pests a free pass to bypass all your expensive insulation entirely. To fix this, we look behind the wood and build what is known as a baseboard gasket. Before nailing the baseboard, apply high-performance flexible sealant into the gap where the drywall meets the subfloor. Once dry, install the baseboard and add 2 more lines of caulk, top and bottom, creating a triple-threat barrier against drafts. We apply a similar logic to the windows. Every newly installed window has a hidden gap between the physical window frame and the edge of the drywall, known as the rough opening. Before attaching the decorative trim, fill the window's rough opening with low-expansion foam and cap it with high-performance tape. This blocks the stack effect, stopping naturally buoyant warm air inside the wall cavities from blowing out into your living room. By putting sealants and foams to work behind the trim, we turn the most vulnerable transition points of the house into an airtight shield. Blocking air is only half the job. In wet spaces like bathrooms and entryways, we must defend against moisture. That means avoiding a standard builder material called MDF. MDF stands for medium density fiberboard. In reality, it is essentially pressed sawdust held together by glue. The moment it touches a drop of water from a bathroom spill or a wet boot, it acts exactly like a sponge. It swells up and turns into oatmeal, and once that happens, it cannot be repaired. The safe choice is using solid wood or finger-jointed pine for any trim located near a potential water source. Real wood handles occasional moisture and can be sanded down and repainted for decades. But even real wood requires a pro-level technique to ensure it survives. It's a process called back priming. By painting the unseen side of the trim that touches the wall, we create a protective barrier called back priming. Hidden moisture escaping from fresh drywall mud or a drying concrete slab bounces right off, preventing the wood from warping. By avoiding cheap sponge-like materials and sealing the hidden sides of real wood, your home remains safe from invisible moisture damage for the long haul. So how can you tell if the trim in a house was installed correctly, or if it was just slapped on for looks? There are a few visual red flags to watch for. The easiest to spot is the floating baseboard. If you visit a construction site before the flooring is installed and you can see daylight shining right under the bottom edge of the trim, the builder ignored the air seal. You also want to look out for heavy-handed caulking. If the crew uses giant globs of caulk to hide wood that was cut too short, that filler is going to shrink and crack within 6 months. To make sure things are done right, ask your builder a very specific question. First, ask them what exact flexible sealant they plan to use behind the baseboards on the exterior walls. Second, ask them to confirm that the crew will be back priming all the window and door casings before they install them. Buying a few extra tubes of high-quality sealant might cost $50 up front, but establishing that continuous seal saves hundreds of dollars in wasted heating bills over the lifespan of the home. By moving beyond just looking pretty and into true performance, this secondary air seal is officially sealing the box tight. If you found this helpful and want to learn more secrets to a perfectly built home, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. See you next time.